IELTS Speaking Part 1. Online News. Question 1. Do you often read the news online? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Yes, I often read the news online. It's easy for me because I can check it on my phone whenever I have time, like during my commute. I usually look at general news and entertainment updates. Band 7 answer. Yes, I read online news almost every day. It has become part of my routine because it's convenient to check it on my phone while commuting or during breaks. I usually follow Japanese news websites like NHK or Yahoo Japan, especially for national updates and lifestyle information. Band 8 answer. Yes, I read online news regularly because it's the fastest way to stay updated. It fits naturally into my daily routine. I usually skim headlines on my phone during my morning commute. I tend to follow reliable Japanese platforms such as NHK or Asahi Shimbun online because they offer quick summaries and in-depth reports at the same time. Question 2. Is it convenient to read online news? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Yes, it is very convenient. I can read it anywhere and I don't need to carry a newspaper. It also updates quickly, so I can know what is happening right away. Band 7 answer. Yes, I think it's extremely convenient. Online news is accessible anytime, and it updates instantly, which is helpful when something important happens. Also, it gives me different sections, like sports, local news, and world news, all in one place, so it saves time. Band 8 answer. Absolutely, it's very convenient because it allows immediate access to breaking news without waiting for printed editions. Another advantage is personalization. Many Japanese news apps allow users to choose the topics they're interested in, so the content feels more relevant. The combination of speed, accessibility, and customization makes online news especially efficient. Question 3. What was the last article that you read about? Model answer. Band 6 answer. The last article one read was about a weather update in Japan. It talked about heavy rain in some areas and reminded people to be careful when going out. Band 7 answer. The most recent article one read was about a strong rainstorm in western Japan. It explained how the rain affected public transportation and gave safety tips for people commuting to work. It was useful because I needed to plan my day. Band 8 answer. The last article one read was a detailed report on the heavy rainfall warnings in western Japan. It discussed how the weather had disrupted several train lines and included expert comments on potential landslide risks in rural areas. I found it helpful because it allowed me to adjust my own travel schedule and understand the broader impact of the weather. Question 4. Do you still read newspapers? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Not really. I usually read news online now. Newspapers feel a bit old-fashioned to me, and I don't have time in the morning to read them. Band 7 answer. I rarely read newspapers nowadays because online news is faster and more convenient. However, I sometimes read printed papers in cafes or libraries when I want to take a break from screens. Band 8 answer. I don't read newspapers regularly anymore, mainly because digital news is much quicker and more flexible. Still, I occasionally enjoy reading printed newspapers in cafes, especially on weekends, because the layout and longer articles help me slow down and read more thoughtfully. But overall, online sources are my main choice. IELTS Speaking Part 2. Website. Describe a website you often visit. You should say, what is it about? How you found out about it? How often do you visit it? And explain why you often visit it. You have 1 minute to prepare. You have 2 minutes to talk. Model answer. Band 6 answer. I'd like to talk about a website I often visit called NHK News Online. It's a Japanese news website where people can read the latest national and international news. The articles are usually short and easy to understand, so it's convenient for daily use. I first found out about this website during high school when my English teacher asked us to follow some reliable news sources. One of my classmates recommended NHK because it has clear information and updates very quickly. I visit this website almost every day, usually in the morning or during lunchtime. I check the headlines and read a few articles that interest me, like weather updates or local news. I often visit it because it helps me stay informed, and I feel it's more trustworthy than some other websites. Also, it's easy to use on my phone, so it fits well into my daily routine. Band 7 answer. I'd like to describe NHK News Online, a website I visit very frequently. It mainly provides reliable news about Japan and the rest of the world. The layout is simple, and it offers different sections such as society, technology, and weather, so I can quickly find the topics I care about. I discovered this website when I was in high school. My teacher encouraged us to read more news to improve our general knowledge, and a friend recommended NHK because the articles are written in a clear and objective way. Since then, it has become part of my routine. I usually visit the site once or twice a day. I check it in the morning to see major headlines, and sometimes again in the evening when I want more details about the events happening in Japan. The main reason I use it so often is that it gives me a sense of connection to what's going on around the country. It also provides quick updates during emergencies, like typhoons or earthquakes, so I rely on it for accurate information. Besides, the mobile version is user-friendly, which makes reading much more efficient. Band 8 answer. The website I regularly visit is NHK News Online, which is one of Japan's most reputable news platforms. It covers a wide range of topics, including politics, society, technology, and even cultural events. What I appreciate most is that it combines short summaries with more detailed reports, so I can choose how deeply I want to read depending on my schedule. I first came across this website during high school when my teacher encouraged our class to follow trustworthy news sources. A classmate introduced me to NHK, and I found that its writing style was straightforward yet informative. Since then, it has remained my go-to platform for reliable updates. I normally visit it several times a day. In the morning, I check the main headlines before starting my day, and during lunch breaks I often read follow-up articles, especially about national issues or new policies in Japan. If there's a major event such as a typhoon or a transportation disruption, I check the site even more frequently. The reason I visit it so often is not just convenience but also trust. NHK is known for delivering verified information, which helps me avoid misleading content online. Another reason is that reading news regularly helps me stay well informed and gives me topics to discuss with friends or coworkers. For me, it's a habit that keeps me connected, informed, and even more aware of the world around me. IELTS Speaking Part 3. Website. Question 1. What are the most popular and least popular apps in your country? Model answer. Band 6 answer. In my country, some of the most popular apps are social media and messaging apps like LINE, because people use them every day to communicate. News apps are also quite common. On the other hand, I think the least popular apps are probably reading apps or apps for learning, because not many people use them regularly. Band 7 answer. In my country, the most popular apps are mainly social media platforms such as LINE and Instagram, since they make communication and sharing photos very easy. Many people also rely on news apps like NHK for daily updates. However, apps that focus on reading long articles or academic learning tend to be less popular because people often feel they take too much time or effort compared to entertainment apps. Band 8 answer. In Japan, apps like LINE, Instagram, and YouTube are the most widely used because they fit people's daily habits, communication, entertainment, and quick information. News platforms such as NHK News Online are also very popular, especially among adults who want reliable updates. On the other hand, apps that require long-term commitment, such as digital libraries or online learning platforms, tend to be less popular. Many people prefer short, engaging content rather than long reading sessions, which explains why those apps receive fewer downloads and lower daily usage. Question 2. Will the internet replace the teacher? Model answer. Band 6 answer. I don't think the internet will replace teachers. The internet is useful because it gives information, but teachers can explain things clearly and help students when they don't understand. So both are important. Band 7 answer. I don't think the internet will fully replace teachers. Online resources are extremely helpful and convenient, but teachers still play an important role in guiding students and giving feedback. For example, when I learned English, online videos helped, but my teacher made sure I understood grammar correctly and used it properly. Band 8 answer. I believe the internet will support education but not replace teachers. Online resources, videos, and interactive websites are excellent tools, especially for self-study. However, teachers provide something technology cannot: personalized guidance, emotional support, and the ability to adjust teaching based on students' needs. In Japan, for example, many students use online learning platforms, but they still rely heavily on tutors and classroom teachers to ask questions and stay motivated. So, rather than replacing teachers, the internet will simply enhance the way teachers teach. Question 3. What are the differences between old people and young people when they use the internet? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Young people use the internet more often and for many things like social media and videos. Older people usually use it for simple things, like reading news or checking emails. They don't use many apps. Band 7 answer. Young people usually use the internet more actively. They enjoy social media, entertainment, and online shopping. Older people tend to focus on practical purposes, like reading news, checking transportation information, or managing bank accounts. They are also more careful because they worry about online scams. Band 8 answer. There are clear differences in how different generations use the internet. Young people tend to explore a wide range of online activities, social media, streaming platforms, gaming, and even online communities. They are comfortable trying new apps and adapting to updates quickly. Older people, however, usually prioritize practical functions such as checking news, using navigation apps, and managing appointments or finances. In Japan, many seniors prefer reliable websites, partly because they are cautious about online fraud. Young people, by contrast, value convenience and entertainment, so they adopt new trends much faster. These differences reflect both digital literacy and personal preferences. Question 4. What kinds of people like going to the library to read and study? Model answer. Band 6 answer. I think students go to the library the most because they need a quiet place to study. Some adults also go there if they want to read books or work in a peaceful environment. Band 7 answer. Mainly students and office workers like going to the library. Students go there to focus on exams or homework, and office workers might use the library to read or work without distractions. In Japan, many university libraries are popular because they provide good study spaces and free Wi-Fi. Band 8 answer. People who value concentration in a calm environment usually enjoy going to libraries. Students preparing for entrance exams often choose libraries because they offer silence, study rooms, and large collections of reference books. Professionals such as writers or freelancers also use libraries when they want a distraction-free space. In Japan, public libraries attract not only students but also older adults who enjoy reading newspapers or attending cultural events. Libraries serve many purposes, studying, reading, and even community activities, so they appeal to a wide range of people.
Congrats on making it to the end of this video, and kudos to you if you did all that practice. You are amazing. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. And you can also add my official LINE account that's in the profile. And if you do this, then I can send you a free phrases guide that you can use for your practice. All right, happy studying. See ya.